Today, we are going to debate Turnitin. Turnitin is a program that tells you the percentage of words you copied from other papers and from the web. When you upload a paper, you and your instructor can receive a report on the amount of words, which words, and from where they were copied, and then decide whether this amount can be considered plagiarism.
Turnitin is very controversial. First, it doesn't really define plagiarism. It just gives you a word count. Second, it treats students like people are treated by airport security. You're a threat until you are cleared. Third, you are forced to give your papers, your intellectual property, to the company so that they can check it. Fourth, it makes it easier for professors to give the same assignment over and over and not bother to teach about plagiarism.
So, we are going to debate these issues. Let me first respond to the issue of plagiarism. I agree that the program does not detect plagiarism. It detects copying, and it is up to the instructors and the students to define whether a particular amount of copying is considered plagiarism. Definitions can vary, and students can recognize that they may have copied too much and then paraphrase what they have copied, so the program does not necessarily nail students, as some claim.
Turnitin may be good at recognizing blatant or intentional copying where a large percentage is copied, but it can't differentiate relatively small amounts of copying. Some copying is inevitable and not all copying is equally important. I don't think the program can make those kinds of distinctions, which are the most important for us, particularly if we create interesting assignments that cannot be easily copied. My second issue is that I think the company is trying to exploit the fears that teachers and professors have, that there is a tremendous amount of plagiarism going on and that the amount is growing because of the internet. They seem to think that all forms of copying are the same. The result is that students are being viewed more and more suspiciously, as if this generation is more immoral than any previous generation.
I think that much of the fear is real. Copying papers is not new, but it is so much easier with the internet. Many teachers want to be able to use the internet without having to worry that the students are cut and pasting. They have better things to do besides having to Google everything to see if it was copied. Let me also go on to your next point about forcing students to give up their intellectual property. First, the court did rule that this was legal, although I do feel their reasoning, that is, was an example of fair use, was a little strange. But the court did recognize that this was for the common good, to help everyone deal with this problem.
I think one way that instructors can deal with this problem is to make its use optional. In the past, some instructors didn't even tell the students they were checking their work. But if they tell them that using the program was only being used to help them identify where they needed to paraphrase, that would help deal with the problem of intellectual property and make its use seem less like going through checkpoints at the airport.
Finally, to the fourth point about the assignments, the burden should be on the university to educate the students about plagiarism so that they wouldn't have to rely on the program
and spend a lot of money.
My point is that it would be ideal if professors could design unique, plagiarism-proof assignments, but that may not be possible, so they need some help in maintaining the integrity of their assignments. Turnitin can be used both ways, as a learning tool and as a deterrent, but it is up to the students to decide which way.
But it is up to the teacher to decide which of those uses will be emphasized. I'm very worried about the consequences of this program.
I think we can trust our staff to use it wisely.